Good afternoon. I am Terrence L. Barber, social worker, and today I will be interviewing Miss Jessica Jackson. She's a 20-year-old college student from Jacksonville, Florida. Ms. Jackson's family has recommended her for evaluation for her alcohol abuse and also recreational drugs. Her grades are failing at the time, and she's also being said to be in an abusive relationship. I'm going to talk to Ms. Jackson to see what sort of treatment I can recommend to help her turn this thing around. I'm going to call Ms. Jackson in. You tell Ms. Jackson to come in, please.
Hello.
Hi, Ms. Jackson. How are you?
I'm good. How are
I
you?
am Terrence Barber.
I'm
It's
Jessica.
nice to meet you. Are you cold? Are you
Yes,
okay?
it is very cold in here.
We're so sorry. Well, I see you have your blanket.
Yes.
So, Ms. Jackson, tell me, how's life? How's everything going?
It's good.
Do you know the reason you're here?
My mom said something about drinking, I guess not going to school, whatever, doing whatever I want to do, being too grown.
Mm-hmm.
So, hanging
So,
out with the wrong crowd or something.
okay. So we're going to talk about that. If that's okay with you.
Okay.
So I got here. You're 20 years old. You're a college student, correct?
Correct.
And how is school going?
It's hard. I don't really be there. So I don't know.
Okay. So you don't really like school or don't take school seriously?
I mean, school's like, I won't say it's lame, but ain't no point in being there. Like, we not doing nothing but sitting down. It's not taking me nowhere. Like, ain't nothing but wasting money. So,
Okay. What are your goals in life?
I'm gonna be a doctor. Yeah. I'm gonna be a
So
doctor.
you're going to be a doctor.
I like kids, so I'm gonna be a pediatrician one of these days.
You realize school is the...
I mean, not today,
Okay,
but, you
I
know,
get it.
doctor's old and whatever, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. So we're going to get into the root of this. So your mom called, and first of all, your mom is very concerned about you,
Okay.
and she seems to love you very much. She wanted me to talk to you about. She thinks that you may have a slight alcohol problem, she even thinks that you may be into recreational drugs. What would you say about that?
I mean, I smoke a little weed every now and then. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You smoke weed though?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not judging you. How does that affect you and your thought process as far as school? Do you think that the recreational drug use and alcohol affects your school life at all?
I mean, when I do smoke weed, you know, I just be sitting there thinking like, they just trying to get my money. You know what I'm saying? That's all they trying to do.
The school is trying to get your money?
School. That's all what school do. And why would I go to school, get a degree, have all these school loans I gotta pay back, can't pay them all back? You know, weed make you think.
Right.
It make you think. You be
Okay.
smart. You smoke.
And what about your alcohol use? First of all, how often do you smoke weed?
About every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
How many times a day would you say?
I mean, maybe 1 to 3 times a day. Depends on how I'm feeling, how much I had, if I got something to do, you know. But at least probably like twice a day.
Do you feel like without weed you don't function normally? Do you feel like you need weed in order to feel like yourself?
Yeah. I need that. Yeah, I gotta have that before
So
I
sort of a
eat, you know
coping
what I'm saying?
mechanism.
Yeah, be dealing with all these people and their drama, especially my mama. Oh my
Right.
gosh.
So how is you and your mom's relationship? How would you categorize that?
It's not. It's straight. It's regular. I mean, she always trying to tell me what to do. Like, she trying to live her life through me. I'm like, you done had your chance to live, do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And she had me when she was young, so she don't want me to go through that same thing. But like, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So.
Okay, and what about the alcohol use that your mom spoke of? Do you think that you have an alcohol problem?
No. I mean, I'll drink. I drink a lot of different stuff. Like, but we kids, we young, you know, we used to have shots, you know, Jello shots, regular shots, Hennessy shots, vodka, Patron, you know what I'm saying? I just like to party a little bit. So, you know what I'm saying? get my drink
And
on.
how often do you drink? Every day?
It's about a party every day or somewhere to go. So mainly at night, I have me something to drink, you know what I'm saying? Or if I'm stressed out throughout the day, I may get me, you know, a few shots here, a few shots there. You know, not that major, just a few.
Okay, all right. And don't mind me, I'm taking notes, but I'm listening to you very attentively.
You're fine.
And I guess the last thing that your mom wanted me to address with you is your relationship with your new boyfriend. She says that your new boyfriend, he's about 20 years your senior. As I take it, you're 20. He's about to be 40, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she's made note of some verbal as well as physical abuse. She says that not only has she seen him be verbally and physically abusive towards you, that other family members have also witnessed this. How do you feel about those statements?
For one, she knows it. That's number one. But two, I mean, like, you know, he just likes stuff to be done a certain way. Like, he pushed me, you know, into the wall. But, you know, that was kind of like an accident. He didn't like mean to. And then, like, he grabbed my arm and, like, told me to come here. But, I mean, he just, sometimes, you know, he be tired. He work, you know, something. So, it's okay. He gonna be, you know, he's tired.
Does he also drink every day?
Yes.
And what about the marijuana usage? Does he also?
We smoke
Okay.
together. Yeah.
And how many times would you say you've all been in a physical altercation?
I mean, I wouldn't call it an altercation. I mean, I probably count on 1 to 2 hands, maybe 2 hands, you know, how many times.
So about 10 times, you think?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, they
And-
just make stuff out of be a big deal. Like, it don't even be all of that for real.
So do you consider the way he treats you to be abuse at all?
No, I mean, like, that's my boyfriend. Like,
Okay.
you know, he would never do anything like to intentionally hurt me.
Right.
They see it as that, but they just don't know our relationship. So,
Okay.
you know.
So if you could change one thing about your life right now and the direction it's headed, what would one thing you think that you do right now that should change in order for you to live a better life? I mean, if you had to point out an issue that you think needs to be addressed, what would it be? Would it not be the alcohol or the marijuana usage or your relationship with your boyfriend? Do you feel any of these things have a negative impact on your life?
No, I mean, they not affecting nobody else. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people just want to be in my business and tell me what to do.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Like I said, I was going to keep this initial interview very brief. I am going to be making some recommendations with your permission. I'm going to recommend that you undergo some counseling, individual as well as family counseling, and as well as Ms. Jackson, this
I'm
is all for
sorry.
your benefit.
Okay.
This is all for your benefit, but you have to be willing.
Okay.
You have to be willing. Even though your mom recommended our agency, you also have to be a willing participant.
If she gonna stay out my face, then I do it.
Okay, well, that's a good enough reason, I
Okay.
guess. So I'm going to recommend some individual counseling as well as family counseling, where we will either have your mom come in person, or we'll do it via Skype or some other method to see if we can get to the root of maybe some of you all's differences. I'll also like to recommend some relationship counseling for you and your boyfriend. What's your boyfriend's name, may I ask?
Django.
Django. Okay, and Django's 39. Okay, I'll also like to, if possible, maybe get Django in the office and have someone speak with him.
I don't know if Django gonna be with that,
Okay,
so we'll see.
we'll cross that bridge when
You
we
need to
get
get
to
me
it.
slapped.
Right, well, we definitely want to avoid getting you slapped,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Jackson. So what I'm going to do is recommend these 3 sets of counseling. I'd say that, you know, as we'll monitor your alcohol use, if that's okay with you, in between sessions, to see if we feel like the alcoholism is becoming a problem for you. And once we assess
Okay,
that,
then
then
no
we'll,
problem.
right, so, you know, throughout the counseling, I may, you know, recommend some alcohol treatments, such as AA or other organizations that provide group help for people. and we will see how that goes. So, Ms. Jackson, I want to thank you for coming in today.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to jot down my recommendations, and once I have them all formally written up, I will be contacting you and your mother, as well as the possibility of getting in contact with Django to see if we can't move forward on getting some of this counseling and everything started. See if we can get to the root of all this, okay?
Okay, Doc.
Is that okay with you?
That's cool.
Thank you so much for coming in, and
You're
you will
welcome.
definitely hear from us soon, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.